This is the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 Fan Edition, the new mid-range tablet from Samsung. Is it good? Let's find out. First, the specs. 12.4-inch Quad HD display, Snapdragon 750G, 4 to 8 GB of RAM, up to 256 GB of storage, and 10,090 mAh battery. As soon as I got my hands on the Tab S7 FE, the first impression was, it's massive. It's a huge slab of metal and glass. Coming from an 11-inch iPad, holding this is not so comfortable. It's pretty heavy. But the build quality is top-notch. Its aluminum back and side reminds me of its bigger brother, the Tab S7 and the S7 Plus. It felt super sturdy in hands. The build quality is absolutely the same level as the Tab S7. Good job, Samsung. There's a power button and a volume rocker on the side, a USB-C charging port, dual stereo speakers, and 3-pin connector for the keyboard cover. Moving to the front, there is a 12.4-inch 2560 by 1600 16 by 10 60Hz LCD display. It's big, plenty bright, and super vibrant. However, it's not color accurate. The display is oversaturated, especially with the reddish color. Doing everyday tasks like watching videos or browsing the web would probably work fine, but for productivity work like photo editing, this is definitely a no-go. It will seriously mess up your work, and you're not gonna like it. Normally on Samsung's phone, in the display setting, there will be an option for you to switch between a vivid and a standard color mode, but the option to choose between the two modes is not here on the Tab S7 FE. Just where I need it the most. The viewing angle on this device is not so good as well. There are obvious color tint shift as soon as you start to tilt around. Samsung really cut a huge corner on the display here. But for the stereo speakers, they are really amazing. It's super loud with pretty good clarity and also has a decent dynamic to it as well. Onto the software. The Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE is running on the One UI 3.1 on Android 11. I've got to say, the experience using Android tablets, it's not as good as an iPad. Things aren't just optimized to be on a larger display as well as on the iPad. Most of the time, things just look the same as the phone version, just bigger. Look at the setting menu. This is what it should be. You've got plenty of space. Use the space. Performance-wise, the Tab S7 FE is, again, not so good. It's quite on the slower side. As an everyday media consumption device, there's no problem. It chews through most of the tasks quite well. Most. More power-hungry tasks like playing HDR content is not a good experience. Not only it is stuttery, but the color is super dull as well. Sure, the display doesn't support HDR, but I don't think it's supposed to look this bad either. For not so graphic intense game, it's alright, but for more hungry tasks like heavy gaming or any workflow that require a lot of compute power, it's a letdown as well. Exporting photo in Lightroom took a lot of time. The Snapdragon 750G is just not powerful enough. It's capable of many things, but definitely not everything. Also, there's only 4 GB of RAM on the model I got. This is 2021, and 4 GB is definitely not enough for even a general use. If you want to buy the Tab S7 FE for work, I would say go for the 6 or 8 GB of RAM. 4 isn't gonna cut it. But for battery life, it's excellent. There is over 10,000 mAh battery packed inside. That means you don't have to worry about it. It lasts for days. I give the battery life a solid A. However, charging is a little let down. Filling up 10,000 mAh battery is not an easy task. The Tab S7 FE support 45 watt charging, but Samsung only include 15. It feels like eternity using a 15 watt charger to charge this thing. Unlike Apple's iPad, one good thing is that there is an S Pen included in the box, so you don't have to spend extra. It's good, it's responsive, although not at Apple Pencil level. It's just a simple S Pen, but I've got the problem with the button placement. It's just right where my thumb naturally rests. And when I write, I tend to accidentally press on it quite a lot, which makes me erase instead of write. Another thing I don't like about the S Pen is how it attaches to the tablet. You must place it on the back on the exact spot or it's not gonna hold well. And this time, there's no line indicating where to put the pen, just like on the Tab S7 does. But if you get it right, the magnet is quite strong and it will stay there. Or you can place it on the side like this. There's an add-on keyboard cover. It's an extra $160. The cover is a little chunky, but it's a good thing to have. The keyboard is pretty standard and has a pretty good travel distance. The keyboard case only supports one position, which is fine, but I would love to see more supported angles. Oh, and that language switch key is right by the spacebar key, and I hit that by accident all the time. So that's about it. Do I recommend buying the Samsung Galaxy Tab S7 FE? I don't think so. Samsung just cut too many corners here, and they didn't cut the right ones. They chose to keep the higher build quality in exchange for serious performance drop. While on their fan edition phone, the S20 FE, it was the other way around. If I were to decide, I would maintain the performance rather than the build quality, because crippling the performance means crippling the efficiency of your work, and that's not good. Build quality is good, but it's just cosmetics. If you want to buy a tablet for work, especially for color-intensive tasks, I'd say go for the iPad Air. You'll get a more color-accurate but smaller display, a faster chipset, and a more refined software. But if you don't mind those, the Tab S7 FE is totally fine. It's a pretty good one. What do you guys think? Do you think the Tab S7 FE is a good buy? Or would you go with the iPad instead? Comments down below. And don't forget to press like, subscribe, and ring the bell icon for more contents like this in the future. See you guys next time. Stay safe.